Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima RidgeBack Ford Bike Rack hanging style carrier here on the back of our 2021 Ford Bronco. So if you guys are looking for a way of actually carrying a multiple bikes to that trailhead destination, wherever you might be heading, now this one's going to be a pretty decent way to do so. Now, of course, you do have a hanging style rack here, so that's going to put some limitations on you. But the big ones, talking about limitations, is going to be our actual hitch receiver just right out of the gate. So today we are working on our Draw-Tite Hitch here today, and as you guys can see, that's definitely going to give you a sizable increase, especially from that factory tow package that sits right here behind your bumper. So highly suggest taking a look at these guys here at etrailer.com. We do offer this and the Curt. The Curt one is going to be like your factory tow package you guys are probably used to seeing, but we have this big old honkin' spare tire here that usually comes standard. So to get around that, we went ahead and used that Draw-Tite to go ahead and just get us a little bit away from our hitch. So highly recommend grabbing one of these guys if you're still looking at hitches. But do keep in mind, probably not going to be a great fit on those smaller guys at the bumper with your spare tire installed, which does come standard on a lot of your Broncos. So do keep that in mind. Talking about limitations with this hanging style rack though, this is not going to be excellent to go ahead and get your carbon frame bikes, as we do have frame contact that will end up warping and deteriorating your carbon frame bikes. So unfortunately, not going to be great for that. And it does have a 37.5 pound weight capacity per bike. So keep in mind, you're probably going to be a little limited to your road bikes and even up into that mountain bike range, but definitely not going to be starting to exceed into those heavy bikes like your fat tires or e-bikes. Going to have to start looking at something like a platform or a tray style carrier to actually get those guys to work for you. But overall though, still a very decent way of getting 4 bikes to your destination. You do have these little cradles here that become excellent to hold on to your bike. What's great about them, they are utilizing Yakima's zip strip technology, and all they do basically, they're just these little strips that ratchet down as you insert them. The cradles themselves have a nice little groove here for your brake lines to go ahead and sit in, and I really do like these pads as well. These air pockets do a great job making sure we're not doing any kind of damage to our frame, which is excellent. On either end as well, we do have Yakima's true and tested and always there bottle openers, so you can go ahead and enjoy your favorite beverage whenever you guys are done riding, which is excellent. So this becomes really nice to go ahead and start securing your bikes. The one thing with any hanging style that you're going to run into though is that you are going to produce sway. As you guys can see, we have a little bit here today. Let me see if I can actually get our anti-sway just to work a little bit better there. But basically this is going to happen on everything, but as you guys can see, we do have a nice anti-sway cradle there as well, utilizing those zip strips again. What's great about this, yes, you're going to have movement, but you guys can quickly see how fast it stops it, and our maximum swing really isn't that much anymore, which is excellent because we want to reduce that contact that our bikes are having. That way they stay looking pretty for the years to come. So definitely something that's great to have, and I love that we actually have that swing away, that anti-sway, which is great. But to get the bike off though, guys, really takes no time at all. The one thing is I did want to look at though before it's out, if you guys want to take a look here at the back of the Bronco, seeing how it integrates with our taillight. That way, as you guys can see, as you get 4 bikes up on here, you might start losing a little bit on those taillights, but I don't think it's going to be anything too terrible. The only thing to keep in mind though, you are losing a little bit in that rear window as well, and that might kind of push me again to those tray style carriers. Now with a 4-bike tray, definitely starts getting large, so I like how we're keeping it small and modular, but just keep in mind you are losing just a little bit of vision. But to take our bike off takes no time at all. I'm just going to come up to our anti-sway and begin with that, and all we have to do, pinch our sides there on our lever. That's going to allow us to take out our strips. We can keep doing that on either side. One thing that's nice about this dual arm, I don't have to hold on to my bike with worry it's going to go free. It is going to rest there. And of course, just find yourself a handy dandy place to hold on to your zip strips so you don't lose them. But we can just grab our bike now and walk it off, and we're all ready to ride. So mounting it becomes just as easy. The only thing I'd keep in mind here, just take off your zip strips first if you want. It makes it really easy just to go ahead, untake them all out and throw them in. Now I will say, if you do find yourself just bringing a bike or two to the trails all the time, maybe swapping these guys around can be excellent. You're really going to start using these guys a lot more. And if you just want them to all to last you quite a while, just rotating them can be very helpful. But with that nice and cinched down, though, we can start looking at how it's interacting here with our Bronco. With any hitch-mounted accessory, definitely going to be adding some length to it. So let's go ahead and see how much we're adding from the rear of our bumper here today to the very back. And I'm going to be going from that light extension, as it does stick out just a little bit more. And that's going to be putting you right at about 47 inches from the back of our vehicle. So definitely a little lengthy there, but we do have a way of cutting that down. Say maybe you're trying to pull this in the garage or get yourselves a little bit more maneuverability. We have a trigger your trigger finger lever right here. And all we have to do, pull that guy up. That's going to let my arm swing down. And then we go ahead, be nice and secure in that position. That's really going to help us shave down some space. Going now from that light fixture to the very back here is going to be putting you at 22.5 inches. So already half of that length getting cut down, guys. Now, hopefully we can go ahead and pull this in the garage like we said, but it can be helpful too, just to cut down that footprint. So you go ahead and maneuver around. Now, might not be the most useful here today on our Bronco, but we do have a way of tilting this away as well. All we need to do, pull this lever right here in the front. Might be hung up a little bit. There we go, a little user error there, guys, just a little stuck. And as you guys can see, that's going to allow me to actually tilt this down. Now, this is excellent if you have any kind of hatch-style vehicles, of course, to get access. Here today on our Bronco, we are probably going to interact here with our spare tire just a little bit. And actually, we're not going to interact with our spare tire, but we are going to get very close here at the bottom. So I just want to guide it in. And I know we all know we have this nice little halfway point for our Bronco, so I actually really like how this is working. Looks like our Ridgeback is actually dipping down enough for us to go ahead and get access now to our coolers, helmets, anything else we might have in the back of our Bronco here. The only thing with that, though, probably not going to be able to open up that glass. So do keep in mind you're probably going to have a slight issue there, as you can't go any more forward without interacting with the bottom of our opening here. So love that I can get that access to the cargo. Kind of a bummer I can't get my glass open, but that's something you're probably going to run into with a variety of different carriers, unless you go with something like with a swing away model like the Yakima XO or the Rocky Mounts Backstage that completely gets out of the way. So do keep in mind that's just kind of a bike rack issue you're going to have. Well, that's awesome that we can go ahead and actually tilt that away. And if we move ourselves down to the inside here, we can go ahead and see we are working on a 1.25 inch shank here, but we do have a 2-inch sleeve converter allowing us to utilize our hitch here for ourselves. We have a nice little safety alignment pin right there to go ahead and make sure we're in the right spot. But the real work is coming right from the front here. As you guys can see, we also have a little locking core on there from Yakima. And this little triangle does excellent. All this is doing is tightening a cam on the inside of our shank to our receiver, bringing this all in line to one system, making for a nicer, smoother ride for you, yourself, your vehicle, and your bikes, which is excellent. And as you guys can see, as I give this a shake, it's shaking the entirety of the Bronco. And that means all that road shakes out, right? We don't have that play. And that's really helpful, especially for these hanging style racks, is because we're trying to reduce that sway as much as we can. And that helps quite a lot. You do have that locking core there as well to go ahead and actually make sure that this is secured tight to your carrier when you, to your vehicle when you leave it unattended. Now, the one thing it doesn't come with is an included cable lock. So Yakima does have the handcuff link to go ahead and actually give yourself a cable lock to go ahead and throw on here. And utilizing Yakima's same key system, you can go ahead and actually get them keyed alike, which is excellent. That way you can go ahead and reduce that key ring. I know I have a few too many on there already, so like that I can cut that down. Overall though, guys, the Ridgeback is just going to be a really nice way of getting you 4 bikes to that trailhead. You do have a backup camera right here on that spare tire mount that's probably going to lose all, if not all of it, most, if not all of that vision. Honestly, just how it's sitting here right in the back here of our main structure, that's most of it knocked out. And then when you have 4 bikes loaded on here, you're not really going to see anything. But again, it's kind of a bike rack issue innately, so do kind of keep that in mind. Otherwise, though, guys, I think the Ridgeback is going to be an excellent way of getting your bikes to your destination. And I think that about does it for our look at the Yakima Ridgeback here today on our 2021 Ford Bronco. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.